You know, one thing I learned from being a truck driver for the last 10 years is not to take on a large amount of debt, whether that be credit card debt, car loan debt, housing debt, trucking debt, vehicle debt. I learned not to do that because so much could change in this trucking industry that you have no control over. Let me give you an example. I used to work at Love's, hauling gas and diesel, local driver here in Nashville, Tennessee. Before I went to Love's, I had a goal to go find me a W-2 job so taxes can be taken out and so that after 2 years I can qualify for a house. Now my goal in the beginning was to get a house that was about $100,000 or less. However, when I got to Love's Transportation, started doing fuel hauling, of course started making those big boy paychecks, $2,000 every single week like clockwork. My mindset started changing. Instead of sticking to $100,000 or less, some kind of way I fooled myself into, well, wait a minute now. I always wanted to stay downtown, Nashville, Tennessee, stay on Broadway. You know, let me look into these apartments over here that's running, $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom on Broadway Street here in Nashville, Tennessee. Some of you guys remember the story. I was gonna move me and one of them girls downtown Broadway. I only planned to stay about 6 months, but luckily, before I signed the lease, Mr. Charlie got rid of me. And I have no idea how I would have paid for that lease. No idea. Because I was under the assumption that, once you get a good W-2 job here in the trucking industry, it's going to last forever. Psh. But before I got that apartment, if you guys go back, I started looking at houses that ran $250,000 up to $300,000. And I said, well, got this good stable W-2 job, $2,000 a week. I think I can afford, $2,000, $2,500 a month in a mortgage. And on top of that, Love's, they let you transfer. If you move, like for example, if I move to Memphis, Tennessee, they'll let me transfer to the Love's out there and still haul fuel. So I said, okay, well, let's abandon those $100,000 or less homes. Let's go with, the latest greatest shoe shine, $200,000, $250,000, $3,000 homes. Not knowing that Mr. Charlie at any given day can pull the plug and you lose everything. Oh, and by the way, you signed up for a 30-year mortgage too. So now you gotta go through evictions and foreclosures and all that stuff. But I'm glad I, got the opportunity to work with Mr. Charlie and go through all that so that I know going forward in trucking, not to ever, and I mean ever, base anything that I buy on if I'm gonna have a job or the particular job I'm working forever, or the next 30 years, or however long I need the job to pay for whatever it is I'm trying to get. I don't believe I have 30 years to go in trucking. I don't believe trucking is gonna be here in 30 years. Some of you guys, you may believe that. I think here in the next 5 to 10 years, it's gonna be a totally different trucking world. That's just me. 20 years ago, people had cab overs. Cab overs used to run, used to rule. Hey, y'all remember cab overs? 20 years from now, ain't no cab overs. 20 years from today, we don't know what it's gonna be. Electric trucks, self-driving trucks, hydrogen trucks, we don't know. But we do know it's gonna be different. Do you want to work at your current job for 30 years? Do you like the job itself to where you want to stay there 30 years? Because the only thing that's going to keep you handcuffed to that job is if you go out and get some massive amount of debt that requires you to now be there for the next 30 years. If I would have got the apartment, okay, I could probably figure that out for 6 months. Possibly. Can I figure out, you know, well, okay, I just signed up for this 30-year mortgage. Oh, I'm fired. But wait a minute, Mr. Charlie, I really need this job. I just got a house. Going forward in trucking, I'm going to stick to my original plan. I'm still looking for a house, $100,000 or less. Something to, well, if my authority come crashing down, I ain't gonna give me a regular job and afford it, whether that be inside or outside of trucking. Whether that be with Mr. Charlie or without Mr. Charlie, with my truck or without the truck. $1,000 or less in mortgage. When I do get the house, and if my equipment is holding up, I'm looking to pay at least 50% of it off within the first year. So if the house is $100,000, $50,000, I need to work that whole first year to dump on the principal, to cut the principal down in half. Once I do that, I can go, okay, now, you know, the truck blow up, whatever the case may be, hey, now I can afford it. And if I do manage to pay off 50% of it here, I can sell the truck and put that towards the rest. Well, I ain't gonna say the rest of the principal, but, you know, even more towards the principal. So that's just, you know, the first house. The first house, I believe for me, it need to be something cheap just to have one. You know, just something cheap. It ain't gotta be the best house. Something cheap, something that can eventually be rented out. Second house, then we can look for something more expensive. You know, more expensive, you know. Not trying to tell you guys what to do. I learned not to use credit cards in this trucking world back in 2020 when I blew the engine to the flat top. I believe if you're swiping credit cards to pay for truck maintenance, it's very possible that you're paying way more money than if you had cash. I'll give you an example. I was at Crow's Truck Service in Olive Branch, Mississippi. They called me, they said, hey man, you blew your engine. It's gonna run you $40,000. I didn't have the cash money. Luckily for me, I didn't have the credit line. But some of you guys may have a $40,000 credit line. You may have American Express and Chase. If I had a credit card that I could swipe for that amount of debt, I would have swiped it, paid the $40,000, let them rebuild the engine. And I'd have been trying to use the truck to pay it back. But because I didn't have that much credit, you know what I had to do? I had to find something else. I said, okay, man, I can't pay $40,000, man. I got to find another shop. And luckily, the next shop I found, they said, yeah, man, we can rebuild that Mercedes, no problem. $8,500. That's parts and labor. I paid cash for it. Down there in Mississippi, by Josh House. Pay cash for it. No credit card interest, no American Express, no Chase, no Visa, no none of that. They don't even accept credit card down there anyway. Cash, that's all they accept. That's it. By not having a credit line, I saved a big amount of money. Oh, and keep in mind, when I did rebuild the engine, I was at QC Quality Carriers. What do you think happened after I rebuilt the engine? You damn right I didn't have a job done no more. Fool. I had to go get a whole other job doing something else. So luckily, I didn't swipe a credit card and say, okay, I know I can pay this back hauling, you know, chemicals over at Quality Carriers. You didn't swipe $40,000 worth of debt. You ain't even get, you don't even know Mr. Charlie already fired you. You don't even know it. Now here you are, $40,000 worth of debt. You don't know where you finna take this truck lease on to. Luckily for me, I went to the oil field and made it work. So I learned, just pay cash. I find cash to be the cheapest way. Cause you ain't in no rush. There ain't no rush to pay no bill. There ain't no rush to find these parts. Ain't no rush to find no service. Ain't no rush. If you ain't got the money, part the truck. Hey, I ain't got it. But I own the truck, but I ain't got the money to fix it. All right, cool. All right, part the truck, no problem. Go sit it in storage, somebody's lot. Go find you a good job, save up the money working, work, and just pay to fix the truck up. It'll still be there. You still own it, right? It'll still be there. I got trucks I've been sitting 2 years. That's 2 years I could have been working a job. I could have just bought a whole new motor for the truck. When you own it, you got plenty of time to go work a job, fix it up. But when you making all this, you got all this debt attached with it, you got her to pay the minimum credit card payment and all that, you may need that truck back quick. I don't know what the credit card bill on $40,000. What's the minimum on that? Let me think. It's gonna be about $800 to $900 a month. That's how much that is on a $40,000 credit card with at least 18% interest or more. It's gonna be about $800 something minimum on a credit card, and you're gonna struggle to pay that, especially if you got rent and all this other stuff. So not a great idea. Not a great idea. I just find it cheaper to just pay cash, or just lease on to a carrier that at least gonna help you out. Me personally, I don't know too many carriers that's gonna help you out when your truck break down. That's why I just got my own authority. What's the point in paying 20% when my truck break down? I still gotta come out of my pocket. If I got to come out of my pocket, fix everything, I might as well just get the whole percentage. They couldn't sell me on the fact that, well, Andrew, with the spot market, Andrew, you ain't gonna get the rates like these other carriers. These other carriers got dedicated free, contracted free. Yeah, Andrew, they got contracted free with a drive-in. Yeah. JB Hunt, they work with Love's and Home Depot and Walmart, and they work with all these people. Yeah, that's great. Have you seen their driver's paycheck? Have you seen their driver's paycheck? Would you say the drivers over at JB Hunt, do you think they make more money leased on or leasing a truck over there, running all that dedicated customer freight, JB Hunt, Home Depot account, Love's account? Do you think they make more money than somebody on a motor carrier on the spot market, running drive-in, flatbed, reefer, whatever the case may be? It ain't even close. It's not even close. There's nothing to compare. But you got your dedicated freight that ain't gonna be dedicated for too long before they get rid of you. How they gonna get rid of you? JB Hunt ain't gonna fire you. They probably ain't gonna fire you. You know what they gonna do? You gonna figure out the rates are so low on that dedicated JB Hunt, all that crap. So low, man, look at your pocket empty. You like, man, where the money at? Oh, you need some money to run this dedicated, contracted, big box stores, Fortune 500 companies. You need money to run this? $900 to go, 300 miles? That ain't enough? That ain't enough? Oh, okay. I thought that's what you was looking for. One thing I would encourage truck drivers to do, this young like me, always be working on another skill outside of trucking. Whatever that may be. Me personally, I'm trying to learn, cybersecurity, cloud security, AWS, Azure. I'm trying to learn skills outside. Something I just need a laptop I can just learn on the side. Python coding, anything. Last thing you want to do is, if one day you happen to just get so bored of trucking you don't want to drive no more, when you get out of trucking, you want to be able to still make 6 figures. So just learn a skill that's going to teach you 6 figures. Whatever that could be. You ain't got to necessarily go to college or trade school. You may just need a laptop right there in the truck. Maybe you just need some Coursera courses, Udemy, all that stuff. But one thing you can use is you see this phone right here? You got a phone. Use a truck driver, you got a phone. You take that phone, open up that chat, GBT or Grok, either one. You just ask it some questions. Watch this. Hello?
Hey there. Good to have you back. Let me know what's on your mind today.
Yes, I'm a truck driver. Been driving trucks for 10 years, and I got a fear that in the next 10 years, I don't believe I'm going to have a job driving trucks anymore, or if I do have a job, it's not going to pay 6 figures like it once did. I'm trying to learn new skills outside of trucking. What do you think?
I totally get where you're coming from. The truck trucking industry is definitely shifting a lot with automation and rates being kind of unpredictable. It makes a ton of sense to want to pick up some new skills on the side. And from what I know about you, you're already exploring a whole bunch of different areas like cybersecurity and construction, which is awesome. So honestly, I think you're on the right track. It's all about diversifying those skills and making sure you've got options so you can land that six-figure role in a different field if that's what you want.
If I'm currently driving a truck right now, OTR, sleeping in the truck every night, and I just have a laptop with an internet connection, what type of skills could I learn by myself in my truck, to perhaps, let's say, for example, get into cloud security engineering?
Absolutely. You can definitely get a lot done right from your truck with just a laptop and internet. A lot of folks get into cloud security or cloud engineering by starting with some pretty accessible online courses. For example, you can look into platforms like AWS Educate, Coursera, Udemy. There are a ton of them that have beginner-friendly cloud engineering and cloud security courses. You can start with something like the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner or even the Azure Fundamental Cert. Those are pretty entry level, and you can do all that studying right from your cab whenever you have downtime. And since you're used to working on the road, you can pace yourself with videos, labs, and even free practice environments that let you test out what you're learning. So it's definitely doable, and it's a great way to start building those skills while you're still on the road.
What's the salary for somebody to learn cloud security engineering? What type of money do they make?
Yeah, so cloud security engineering can be pretty lucrative. Generally, once you've got some solid skills and maybe a couple of certifications under your belt, like an AWS Solutions Architect cert or something similar, you could be looking at salaries in the range of at least $100,000 a year. In some markets like Huntsville or other tech-heavy cities, it can even climb quite a bit higher, especially if you stack on a few years of experience. So it's definitely a field where you can hit that six-figure mark once you get established.
What does entry roles pay?
Yeah, so for entry-level roles in cloud security or cloud engineering, you're often looking at starting salaries that might be somewhere in the range of, say, $70,000 to $90,000 a year. It can depend a lot on your location, the specific company, and whether you have any additional IT experience or related certs. But once you're in the door and you've got that first job under your belt, it can definitely climb from there.
Okay, so if I have no experience whatsoever in the tech field, the IT world, cybersecurity, cloud security, no experience, how long does it take me to get these certifications if I'm in my truck with a laptop?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're starting from scratch with no tech background at all, it's still very doable. A lot of people do this kind of career pivot. And if you're consistent, you could probably knock out some foundational certifications in maybe 3 to 6 months. For something like an AWS Cloud Practitioner Cert or CompTIA Security Plus, that's a pretty common timeline if you're studying maybe a couple hours a day whenever you have downtime. And then once you have that first cert or two, you can start applying for entry-level roles, maybe in IT support or cloud support, and then build from there. So yeah, I'd say give yourself a few months to get that first cert, and then you're on your way.
So it takes less than a year for me to learn a new skill with just a laptop and be making six figures in something totally different other than trucking.
Yeah, exactly. It might sound kind of wild, but it's definitely doable. I mean, a lot of people do these kinds of career transitions in less than a year, especially if they're really focused. So if you put in that consistent effort, absolutely, you could find yourself in a whole new field, making a six-figure income and just rolling right along.
ChatGPT, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go download it and play with it. Ask it all the questions you want. Get it from the App Store, Play Store, whatever the case may be. So like I was saying, while you're in the truck, just learn some new skills on the side. All you need is a laptop. If you ain't got a laptop, use the phone. Figure it out. Or just go buy a laptop. They about $300 for a low-end laptop at Best Buy, Walmart. Now, I'm just saying, one day we want to get out the truck. And when we do get out the truck, we ain't trying to go back to McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, all that crap already filled up. They ain't hiring. They ain't none of that waiting for you. But if you learn a six-figure skill while you in that truck, Man, you get out that truck, man, you back making 6 figures again. Home every day, benefits, 401k, pensions, all that stuff, whatever they offer, whatever they got to do to sell you, on the job. You just want to make sure, hey, you can make 6 figures driving the truck, and you can make 6 figures out that truck. I'm gonna let you know right now, if y'all find a way to make 6 figures outside the truck, you just quite possibly now, you can get your family back. You can go kick Tyrone back out the house. Tyrone didn't took over him, but you get one of these. I'm letting you know right now. You get one of them 6-figure jobs outside of trucking. 40 hours a week, home every day. Tyrone got to go. Hey, you just show up to the house. Hey, baby, Tyrone got to go. Hey, what's going on? I just landed this 6-figure job, home every. Oh yeah, Tyrone, he out of there. Yeah, dope man gone. Yeah, that's all Tyrone doing. He just sell dope on the side anyway. He ain't got no job. Tyrone work at Burger King, please. He gone. He gone. Get your kids back. 2026, they cutting food stamps and all this other stuff anyway. So somebody need to learn some 6-figure skills around here. We already know how to make 6 figures driving a truck. That's easy. You just hold the steering wheel. If you ain't making it at 70 hours, make it at 80 hours. If 80 hours ain't working, go up to 120 hours. Just hold the steering wheel a little bit longer and the 6 figures will come. We know how to do that. How do we make the 6 figures outside of trucking? That's for y'all. You ain't gotta do nothing. I'm saying, you figure out what it is that you need to learn. Just learn something, anything. How to sell, how to start a barbershop. Hey, Google, how much does it cost to buy into a franchise? How much does it cost to start a Subway? Buy into a franchise, I don't know. Buy a UPS store. Figure it out. But learn something. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Get in the comment section. Hey, Andrew, I'm thinking about doing this outside of trucking. Truck drivers are trying to get some ideas. But what I'm not waiting to see if AI and all that's going to take over trucking. I'm learning new skills now. I'm tired of driving the truck now. AI ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm tired of, you see, I'm always at the house. Yeah, I can go out there and hold the steering wheel just like Josh. I ain't go cross country just like Josh. I ain't go lease a truck just like Josh. I've been doing it 10 years. I'm tired of driving the truck. Time to go learn something else.